Hey guys, and welcome to my unboxing of Sheol. Now this is just the lid of Sheol because this was a huge box and I didn't want to lift everything. There's a ton in there. We find out quite a bit about the gameplay actually from this unboxing, so I hope you're looking forward to that. We learn some of the places we'll be going. We learn some story bits. We learn about multi-stage boss battles, different upgrade paths for the upgrades in your city. So you get to upgrade your city and then you get to upgrade those upgrades to better versions of what you had, and how the city can interact with the board and what you're doing there. It's kind of like the Argo and Aeon Trespass Odyssey, if you've seen my review or kind of discussion around that, where it can actually affect different things. You can have like pillars of light, like put people in prison. It's crazy. Anyway, a lot of crazy stuff in this unboxing. Real quick before we get started, I want to point out my cool shirt. This is my Doom Eternal Doom Guy shirt that I've been enjoying lately. If you want to see cool shirts like this, link in the description below where you can buy those. I'm a nerd. I figure you guys are pretty nerdy too. Maybe you like this kind of stuff. They got Kingdom Hearts, they got Final Fantasy, they got Street Fighter, they got Doom, they got all that kind of stuff. Anime, Legend of Zelda, whatever it is, they tend to have it. I don't get any money from it. I just get in-store credits so I can get free shirts. Like this one, actually. So that's really all it is. But hey, it helps me feed my shirt habit, and I figured you guys would like it. So link down below for that. Let's go ahead and get into the unboxing of Sheol. Alright guys, it is finally time to unbox Sheol. Let's get to it. Let's get started. Let's see what's inside of this. Now, as you guys know, I always love unboxing prototypes because it's so fun for me. I don't know how it is for you guys, but each one's so different. I mean, this one doesn't even look like a box. It's got all this like bubble wrap and then just like taped around it like a bomb. It's not from Archon though, so it's not a bomb. How they wrap it with like the black bag and everything, but I'm very interested to see what's inside of this. They actually sent a video out to me, and I guess I'm assuming a few others, I don't know. It kind of explaining everything in here, and the moment I saw that they're going to show what's in here, I actually haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what's in here yet. I think it's cool that they did that, so they'll explain, okay, here's what this is, because prototypes, again, sometimes are a little weird. But let's go ahead and get started. I don't even know, like, where best to attack this. Like, I'm not even quite sure. I'm trying to be very gentle here. I don't want to actually be too rough with this. So we'll see. I'm just going to slowly cut through it until I can see some sort of opening. Maybe right here. Maybe right here. This looks about as promising as anything. All right. So we got through one layer here. I guess I'll just keep going. Oh my gosh, there's a ton of it here. And I'm just slicing through, but my goodness, there's a ton. Oh, what is this made out of? Alright. No easy open tab here. There we go. If I can get through the first layer. You know what though? This is well protected, so that's good. Good on them for protecting it, I suppose. Oh my goodness. Alright. Try not to... See, what I'm worried is I'm just gonna like stab straight through it because there's no like box or anything either, and I don't want to damage anything in here. So, it looks like they didn't want to damage anything in here either. But I think we might be through the first layer here. I might be able to just pull this out now. You guys always know I struggle. Okay. Alright. I can do this. Look at that. It's another one. This looks better. This looks easier though. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Let's see what's in here. Maybe there is a box underneath. This is like some joke. You know, this is like those Russian dolls, you know, that have layer after layer after layer. Wow. Alright. I'm like actually out of breath. This took my breath away. Sheol took my breath away.
Just trying to open it. If this is if it's wrapped again after this, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Aha! Okay. All right. So it looks like, is this a shirt? That's cool. Okay. All right. Slowly. I'm gonna take this away. There we are. Okay. Looks like, did they ask my shirt size? I don't recall being asked a shirt size. Oh, this is like it's like a tote bag. Look at that. Okay, so here we got a tote bag kind of thing. Very fabric-y, so it doesn't have like a super defined shape or bottom or anything like that. And I think inside of here, there's a shirt. What size is this? Extra large. Well, I can sleep in it. My wife will probably take this to sleep in. Actually, she loves like these huge shirts to sleep in. Let's go ahead and take a look. Either way, that's cool. That's cool. I'm a medium, but you know, whatever. Actually, I don't know. This doesn't look actually that large, so I guess we'll see. Either way, a shirt. This is actually a very nice material, very soft. Very good. Property Prevera. Fashions and sportwear. Well, there's going to be no sports in that wear. Okay, and a big old box. So, you know, again, obviously prototypes. You can see kind of the line here where they put the two images together, but it looks like it actually showed up pretty cool. It's in like this. See if I can't just take a peek. Okay, bottom is just white. So just the bottom there. And on the side, we got, you know, s.h.e.o.l. and then Lunar Oak Studio. Lunar Oak Studio, huh? Okay, and then here we got to the kind of the main. Wow, that is super bright. I might need to dampen that. We'll see. All right, and here we have more packaging and typical prototype stuff. So read me to play. Will do. It looks like they're pretty organized here. Again, and then on top of that, I got a you like can't read that. That is just pure white, huh? Interesting. Look at that. It's like magic. All right, I might have to change that. We'll see. Either way, it looks like they're pretty organized about kind of what we'll have to do here. And then I got the largest dice bag in the world. This is awesome. You can look at that. Take all the tokens you want in there. This is okay. So I was complaining about how like sometimes you gotta like put your hand like this and just kind of like wedge it in there just to like pinch one out, and it's like all the tokens are like grinding on the side and everything. Not with this sucker. Also, you could take somebody hostage and put this over their head, so they don't know where you're going. Okay. Then we got the rule book here. Don't know if it's just black on the outside or if it's black and white. Looks like it's just text in black and white, so nothing fancy here. It's just white for you. I need to change that. My goodness. We might be okay, though. No index. Another one. The Story of the Fall. This is full color, actually. Looks like just some story here. I don't know if this is what they've already released online. No, they've released quite a bit online. By the way, link below to their kind of their website thingy. They got some cool stuff there. You can see some of the miniature renders really up close and some of the lore. Very cool. Keep it going, keep it going. Okay, we got a whole lot of light tokens here and different things here. So how this, I mean, again, just in general works is you're like connecting these, kind of like those like, remember those old pipe games, right? And so you could connect it like that, right? You could connect them. There you go. See? However you end up doing it, and there's a bad side to it too. And it looks like kind of discover what's on, you know, each one. I don't know if you're pulling these out of those or what. Again, I'll have to read. They have a lot of videos on this stuff too, which is actually really cool, but it's been so long. Okay, we got some gym looking stuff there. We got some cards here. We got some cards here. We got some little tokens and dice here, custom dice. Those are just stickers on there. This is an interesting shape. Very interesting shape. Got, looks like probably the city here, perhaps? Or something. I don't know. Nothing's going good there. I don't know what that's all about. More tokens here. These are like blips or whatever. They end up being enemies. Some cards. more custom tokens here. So you're gonna have a lot of tokens and whatnot here. Look at this, more tokens here. These are smaller ones. Looks like damage and stuff like that. And then we got a package of tokens here. Beserk, huh? My goodness. Yeah, that's a thing. Then we got some of the heroes and bad guys. They glow red. Good guys glow blue. You know how that works. Maybe some technology or something like that. Maybe some more heroes. These looks like skills. Oblivion Marksman. Mayonnaise Ecstasy. Lux Boosts. Maybe this is technology. I don't know. We'll see. Corrosion. When you draw this card, you lose an Umbra and then discard. Well, that's no fun. Great art, though. I'm going to look through these a little bit closer in a second. I want to kind of take everything out, and then I'm going to probably fix the white level on this camera. Impact detector. We got some more bad guys here. I suspect a minis in here. Got a, oh man, look at that. That's cool. So you got some kind of bad guy chart here of some kind. You have the good guy version of it, where it looks like you're kind of, this is probably where you're building up your city and stuff like that. Looks like there's some reminders here. This will make sense to me later, I'm sure. And then look at that. That is awesome. And then looks like a gigantic, I don't know what this is. What the heck? All right, and then just the box. So let's move this out of the way. And let me actually, I want to go ahead and fix the white level, and then we'll open up this game board. I'll lay it down and then look on stuff on top of that. How about that? All right, guys, real quick, I was putting this up and I just wanted to read this just so I think this is important to read just to put everything in context. So it says here that, you know, this will give a pretty good feel of the game mechanics, but that the mission book is missing in the game. However, there'll be 30 missions and an illustrated manual of over 50 pages that will allow you to experience the story of the characters mission after mission. There'll be a vast library of event cards that are still already in here. Upgrades are missing. S.h.e.o.l has intra-mission phases described in the introduction manual that allow heroes to purchase new equipment. Upgrades level 2 and 3 are not included in this prototype. Many illustrations are missing. Illustrations are an effort and a key element for us, and in S.h.e.o.l they are more than 200 original illustrations. Miniatures and advanced bosses are missing. Miniatures are S.h.e.o.l's point of strength. You can see the quality from the resins we have added, but S.h.e.o.l will have dozens of different miniatures, and then they'll announce them during the Kickstarter campaign. So, just as an FYI, that's a thing. Okay, so it should be a little bit better now. Let's go ahead and open this up, I guess. Kind of interesting. Is this can I actually, yeah, it is a bag. Look at that. There we are. This is not safe for children. Don't keep this around children. Oh, that's why. So they're loose. They're separate. They're not one piece. And see, it's just like foam board with like the image kind of glued onto it. Let's go ahead and move these cards out of the way. The bajillion tokens and cards, whoopsies, that we have. See if I can't put this together. We'll look at these, don't worry. Okay, so luckily I have a little bit of a guide here. There we go. And there was a front and back too, right? I wonder if it's the same thing. No, because this one doesn't have the center part to it. Instead, it's over here. I guess there are several different kinds of maps, depending on if you're in the center or not. Anyway, looks like this is upside down. So let's go ahead and do this proper. And then we'll get to looking at these other pieces. Okay. All right. There we are. Look at that. We got it. Maybe. Wait. Wait a second. Here. Maybe if I learned how to do it, maybe then it'd work. What do you think? Gotta make the name. There we go. That is what we call good enough. All right. I'm actually not going to leave that. It's reflecting a little bit, and it's just going to move around. But there's the board, as you can see. So your city would be right here, and you'd be branching out. And then it looks like, alternatively, there's a whole lot more empty space. And then it looks like you have it like way up in the corner there instead. So you have this kind of wide open space, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right. That up there. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of these dice. You guys want to zoom in a little bit, maybe? So now, let's say we have some stands as well, perhaps for some characters. We got whatever these are. They're just like, you know, cheapo 3D printed kind of stuff here. We got a few typical gems that you'll see in a lot of different games. This one's actually pretty well done. There's a little pour spout right there, but that's typical. Hold on. I got it. It's a little pour spout there. Again, very typical. And you have these dice. Let's take one of each. So look at the symbols here. So here you have the Omega and the Alpha. So you kind of got Alpha and Omega, and then you got, oh look, this is the eBay rating. You got A+ and Omega Plus on there, and those are those. The dice that they picked to put these stickers on have a rounded edge. Again, obviously, so it'll roll actually quite nice, which is kind of good. The harder the edge, the kind of worse it does. This is kind of funny. So this dice is like very, very light. You hear that? And now hear this one. Do you hear the difference? Maybe you don't hear the difference. I can feel the difference. This is like a piece of wood. Or maybe some really cheap plastic. And then this is an actual die. And this has a plus or some kind of targeting thing. Perhaps this has a different version of that. It's like a yin-yang kind of version. And then we have this symbol here. Now, I guess a few things on this. I'm fine with symbology. Ideally, I can either there's very little of it or they make sense to me. Looks like there's actually a few more dice here. So let me just open all these. So like I have no idea what the difference between this and this is, right? I mean, to me, it's not self-intuitive there. Here we have obviously a person of probably ill repute there. And then we have some kind of die there with an eye thing. And then we got another thingy here with the other thingies. And then the thingies in the thingies. And then we got, that's it on that one. Here we got the same thingies. Here we have, it looks like probably a hit. I'm assuming a blank. Some kind of critical perhaps. And I think that's it. So a couple different kinds of dice there. Couple different kinds. Tell you what, if you hadn't noticed yet, really, I suck at unboxing. I'll have to go find that hopefully somewhere. That like flew off the table. If you haven't noticed yet, this is very different from a lot of the games I cover on the channel, which just means that it looks like it's pretty unique, which is good. So we got some tokens here. Again, these I think are a little bit more self-explanatory. Well, maybe not, whatever the heck's going on here. But, you know, like it's some kind of like accurate thing or some kind there. I don't know. There's some stuff there, some different symbols and whatnot. Let's look at some of the hero cards. Are they called heroes? It's always kind of interesting to me in games. Like, are they a hero? Are they a character? So this is kind of interesting. So here we have this guy. Let me make sure this is focused well. There you go. And he has kind of his energy thing, and he's a pioneer. As a free action, you can build a path in the lantern pattern. Well, that's kind of cool. Different stuff here. Here's where you put kind of your weapon and your light thing. And then if you notice on the other side, it's the evil version of him. And it, like even his name, the pioneer, is all like cracked and broken, and that just looks cool to me. Like I just love the visual design of it. So here you have the Menad, I don't know what that is. And then you have an evil version of him. And not only is it like evil, but he looks, I mean, I guess he's wearing a skull either way, but, or she, she's wearing a skull either way. But either way, you get kind of the cracked stuff and all that. This looks cool, I think. Looks like the exact same stats, except you lose some, maybe some armor points there. Is that what that is? Again, it's been a while. You got the Cyclops, named after his one kind of eye there. You can draw 2 cards on a critical there. See? That's what this is telling you. If you roll that, that's what you end up getting, is that critical. And then obviously the evil version of him. Looks like he gets a freaking, like, his gun is, it almost looks like a bazooka kind of thing there. And then the Breathless. Is that a cape? That's a cool cape. Where they can add 2 damage to their attack. This one, at least, looks like it's the exact same art, just with a different coloring. The other ones were a little unique. I don't know why that one's different. Maybe they just haven't gotten it yet. Maybe they're like, you know what, this is a super cool pose. We're going to keep it. I don't know. All right, let's see. We got some, whatever these cards are. Come on. Ooh, tight fit in there. Mental Obscurity. Man, I'm probably getting these all out of order here. But it's not my fault. This bag is like the exact size. Okay, I'm going to feel okay right there. All right. Obviously, they're bent. Obviously, prototype. Yeah, this is just paper. There's no core here or anything like that. That being said, looking at this, here's the back. Kind of see it's all just looks like defense stuff. The art style here is really, really cool. Like, I really like the art style here. Just in general, here's just kind of regular wound, but then of course you have Umbra Sac here. You have corrosion. When you draw this card, you lose an Umbra. I read that before. Is incapacitated. When you draw this card, you lose 2 movement points. Or Mental Obscurity. When you draw this card, you lose an action. Mental Radiance. When you draw this card, you get an extra action. Remove this card from the deck at the end of the mission. That's cool that there's some good ones in here. Kind of interesting. When you can discard this card to get 3 Umbra. So yeah, there's a few that are good, and then I think about 2/3 are bad there. That's kind of interesting. I am not going to worry about putting it in the bag right now. Let's look at some of these, because these looked kind of interesting. This was like some kind of upgrade building thing, I'm assuming. So you kind of have this, and if I move this over here, you have that kind of same symbol here. So it looks like you can kind of choose upgrades. One thing of note is the cards look to be different sizes, at least right now. Oh my gosh, this exact size baggie does not work well for an unboxing. All right, put that here. So as you can obviously that's too big, right? So I don't know kind of how this works per se. But here you go. The first incremental movement does not cost Lux. That's actually almost So here's some abstract engineering. During a construction action, you can build light paths even outside your pattern. Or piercing detection. During a revelation action, the shadows do not perform opportunity actions. Shipping robots send an item to an ally. A Night Slasher. So this is kind of some of the not weapons, but the submachine flash gun. This is kind of like a weapon, but this is like your light stick or whatever, right? Your tool. After an attack, pay a reveal action, 1 Lux less for the entire turn, and it's got, I'm assuming, range and damage, and I don't know. I'd have to relook at this, but either way, there's some different items and such that you can get there, and there's slashing the powerful, scavenger techniques, shipping robot, Umbra Fission's machine, mind whip, a burn bazooka. Very unique setting, which I really appreciate. I really do. I like that a lot. So we got that. Showed you these. Gems, boring. Some more tokens. That looks like some kind of weird screw and a A skull with a mask attached to it. Sure, why not? Let's do that. Here's a different thing there. Aha. Here's the buildings. This is the right size. I got it. Don't worry, guys. Let's look at some construction building stuff you can do. Everybody loves that, right? Thanks, Kingdom Death, for popularizing that. Mainly because I love Civ type stuff where you can build. Loved it in video games. Love it in board games. It's just fun. All right, Perimeter Outpost. Roll die to attack a shadow in any cell of the map, dealing 3 damage. So your city looks like it can actually help defend itself a little bit. That's kind of cool. Vertical prison. I wonder if this is a thing where, see how on the front it's Perimeter Outpost, on the back it's a vertical prison. During the shadow phase, choose 3 shadows. They do not move or attack. It's like a wall. You're not going anywhere. I'm wondering if this is like you have to pick one, right? So you get this, and it's like, well, you can do either one, but you can't do both. That being said, the fact that your city can be involved is super cool. Survivor's Quarters. Choose a lane to land. Deal up to 6 damage to enemies onto that land. Guarded Superior Walls. Activate during Shadow Phase. This turn, every enemy that deals damage to a character is revealed. Colossal Forge. Scavenger Trading Posts. Lux Foundries. And then, of course, on the back you have even more. So you have a Canal District and a Slums Market. Buy a shop item with a discount of 3, minimum price 1. Plateau Mines, Inferior Walls. Guarded. I wonder if this is an upgrade thing. So here's Inferior Walls, and then there's a Guarded Superior Walls. Here's a Scouts Headquarters, and then there's a Survivor's Quarters. So I'm assuming this is actually an upgrade thing of some kind. A Vertical Prison or a Perimeter Outposts. During the shadow phase, choose 3 shadows. They do not move or attack. Roll the dice to attack a shadow in any cell of the map, dealing 3 damage. These seem to be doing different things. So I'm not entirely sold on that idea, but something like that. Then it looks like we have some kind of bad thing that can happen. I'm assuming maybe they can take over stuff. All shadows make a movement towards the citadel. Proliferation half singularities chosen by the players spawn an additional shadow during generations. Ambush. Imitation, all sorts of stuff there. Then it looks like we got some kind of items here. Repairing nanomachines, why not? Repairing paste, sure. A pocket Lux vial, yeah, just in case you need some more Lux. Everybody needs some more Lux. Stroke accelerator. Okay. Magnifying mirror. Increase lantern range by 2 until the end of turn. Telescope it. An R detonator. Beam inducer. Some more Lux vials. A solar sail. Reflex sight. Telescopic sight. L detonator. A quantic flattener. Sure. A field controller. So they're using a bit of the same art here, right, for the same thing. But either way, these are like shop items by the looks of it. So that's where you can go shopping, buy some items. Get some fat loots. Oh, that was actually one pile, and it was to this one. All right. This looks like a helper card there. Player aid. That's what I'm thinking of. Now this looks like a little bit of spoiler. So luckily, it looks like that white is still kind of really white for whatever reason. Maybe it looks worse on where I'm looking at it. Anyway, so there's Ace 1, HNE 2. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Let's look at just this top one here. Just as an example, sanatorium. The inside of the cathedral is a cross between an ancient sanatorium and an automated field hospital. By candlelight, the monks examine the injured from the outer lands using augmented reality viewers, while several drones, which that the luminaries called cherubs, flit around distributing medicines. The cry of the wounded man splits the silence. His face is covered in shadowy black veins. What is happening to him? 1. You can get up close and take a better look. 2. You recoil, fearing he may be contagious. Or 3. Keeping your distance, you look for a monk who can explain what is going on. And then I bet on the back are the answers. That's cool. I dig this. And there's a ton. Look at all this. Secret codes, black hole engravings, dark teachings, free fall, sea of ink, Dark Refuge, Strange Mage, Creeping Chaos, Calcified Screams, Welcome to the Shadowland, Endure Waves, Recovery, Observer, Communication, Robots and Shadows. My goodness, a ton here. All of these look unique. That's cool. I like this. It looks like sometimes you get like different things, not necessarily you get like these tokens and whatnot. It's not all just, maybe sometimes it looks like, yeah, see, this is just one thing you can do. Tons of different stuff here. It looks like applicable art depending on what's going on there. That's cool. I dig this. I like that. Adds a lot to kind of the how it's like playing in your head, right? Like the kind of the mental image you get here. Let's look at some enemy cards. These are easier to take out. Got the Berserk, and then the Berserk. Oh, okay. So you have the Hunter, and then you have the Hunter, and then you have the Hunter in Berserk mode. And it looks like he moves less. He does whatever that is. Does whatever that is. Same. His damage increases from 4 to 5. And he goes from 3 health, 0 armor to 2 health, 1 armor. And it looks like shuffle 2 wound cards into the deck. So he's actively changing like a wound deck of some kind on a special. Towards the guy with the most looks. And his AI kind of changes a little bit. And the Awakener also kind of changes to a Berserk. Same kind of thing there, where, what he does kind of changes a little bit. He has a different effect that's going on. This one says, add 1 damage to base shadows within 2 cells. It says the spawn points in the range spawn double. So he's adding a whole bunch of adds by the sounds of it, which is kind of cool. Very neat. Looks promising. Look whatever the heck this is. It's almost kind of really interesting just not understanding what it is I'm looking at. Does that make sense at all? It's like, I have no idea what this game is crazy. This is why I want to tell you guys about this. I have no idea what's going on here. There's a city. So there's that. There's a very, very bad guy. Here's the other little guy. So you can see the size difference. These are standees representing, I'm assuming, the miniatures, perhaps. But I feel like he'll be actually bigger than that, because I'm assuming the people are kind of general sized. But we'll see. We have whatever these are. Some Crossroads, Starship Wreckage, Hollow Nexus, People Forest. Jeez. Concrete Wasteland, Submerged Antimatter Plant. Same art there. Lighthouse, Nuclear Crater, Ancient Machines, Coral Bone Labyrinth, Ancient Cathedral, Abandoned Robotic Factory, Endless Abyss. All sorts of craziness there. I've seen these are just random places that can pop up. That is some cool stuff. That's all I'm saying. That is neat. Hopefully I'm staying organized here. All right. So we got a new enemy here. I'm not aware of ever seeing the render for this guy. Maybe they'll be nice enough to share it here soon. Here is Tizion. The hands are kind of freaky. They're kind of freaking me out a little bit. Like a little bit a lot. I don't even know what these things are. That's gross. And so notice he's way different though. He must be some kind of boss. There must be a boss mechanic of some kind, because notice this is much different compared to this. He must have, I'm assuming, a deck of cards or something that say what's going on. Though maybe not. And here he is, Berserk. And you can see even around him changes too. He's get like these shatterings here and stuff too. And then again, he's kind of doing different things. See, here's his deck. So he's got a deck of cards when you're fighting something big and bad like this. Shadow Eruption, Tectonic Decay, Screaming Blow. That's cool. It's got like a little symbol here of him. It looks like 2 alpha and then some kind of, I don't know, range, or I don't know what's going on with all that. Sheol's Tide, Havoc, Somber Wind, Shutdown, Land Eater, Wormhole, Gravity, Whirlwind, Dark Shield. And then there was some kind of mountain range thing. Yeah, no idea. Does he use a mountain range? Is that defense? Like, what's going on there? don't know. And he's got some special tokens as well. So it looks like you'll probably, I'm assuming, get a few of these in the game. And each one will have its own deck and its own probably unique tokens and some gameplay mechanics and whatnot. This is turning out crazier than I thought it was going to be. All right, so these look kind of similar. So I'm going to open one. It looks like these are your for the heroes, the 4 heroes. Let's go ahead and do Cyclops. Let's do Cyclops, and I'm not going to do the other ones. See, they're over there now. That's the done pile. Except Mindra's over there. Speaking of which, a lot more enemies. So I'm not gonna open that, but your typical enemies there. I kind of like how skinny and tall it is. It seems like it doesn't take up as much space, and some of those tokens. All right, let's take a look here and see what we start out with for the Cyclops. Almost, and then we got miniatures. So we got the Charged Lux emitter. This looks like maybe some kind of upgrade of some kind. Pay 3 Lux and 1 action, attack all targets within 2 cells and push them 1 cell away from you. And then it looks like, so see, here's the city, small, medium, and then large city. Increase the radius by 3, increase the radius by 3 cells and push 2, increase the radius by 4 and push 2. So the more the city is upgraded, it looks like, the more this gets upgraded, which is kind of interesting. Leatherback, pay an action and 2 Lux to avoid damage until the next turn, and then your turn ends. You get 2 of those. Safeguard, use this card to prevent 2 damage for an ally. He's kind of like the tank then, perhaps. Shockwave, pull 2 different enemies within 5 cells towards the character. Oh man, the art here, so cool. Survival of the fittest, use this card to prevent all the damage from a single attack. Definitely the tank. Had a few of those. 1-man army. During an attack action, you inflict 1 more damage if there's at least 1 ally within 5 cells. Stay together, guys. Impulse cannon, so he starts with a gun torch and impulse cannon are kind of his 2 weapons. That's cool. I actually really dig all this. I'm wondering if this is like sell or scrap or some kind of stuff like that. I'm assuming this is part of what you buy stuff with. Because I don't think that's the Lux, but maybe it is. I'm not going to put that in. I haven't been doing that this whole time. Okay, you know what this means? Miniatures. All right, let's see what we got here. I don't even know what this box is. Got some M's or W's or birds in the sky. Let's just go ahead and move all this and take a look at what we got here. Oh, all right. That sounds weird. So we got miniature here, here, and here, and in here we got miniatures here, 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 and here, and it looks like that is it. This to the side, and let's go ahead and start. I'm wondering. See again, I want to be super gentle here. Not gentle at all, is it? The knife is very dull. All right, I'm gonna go get a different knife because I want to be really careful. Okay, and if you hadn't noticed, I do not have my typical razor blade. My wife misplaced it, so blame her. Don't actually, but she did lose it. But I wanted to unbox this because I'm excited, so here I am, struggling. All right, so first up we have one of the heroes. So again, this is a 3D print. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit more for you guys. Okay, so one thing you can tell is this is a pretty small scale, probably 28 millimeter, I would assume, and that it's a 3D print, so you can see some of the posts still here. All right, these are support posts for when they printed it, and you can see they cleaned up some of it here on the bottom here, but that's what that is. But so this is not obviously final quality. That being said, you can kind of see the hexagon cape here. There's some posts on the bottom here. Kind of see the gun a little bit. the kind of the helmet and whatever the heck his battery pack thing is, or her. I don't know even what gender this one is, but I really like the sculpted base. I like that that's included in the miniature to give it kind of a unique pose. So I really like that. Very skinny bottom part here. I don't know if that's going to stay that way or not, but either way, I like the kind of just overall design, and detail level looks pretty darn good from what I can tell. Some of these look really small. I have seen miniatures this small in regular production plastic hold this detail, so it is certainly possible. No real telling there. I can't really tell that much. So, but there's one hero. Okay, and this one. Come on. And here is the tank. This is Cyclops. Look at him. He looks cool. He's huge. Do you see the difference there? Like, that's a big guy. That's cool. I think they're about as tall, right? He's not straight, and this guy's very straight. But just like thickness, he's a thick boy. So we got these. Obviously, I think this is going to have to be thickened, right? I don't think it can stay this skinny in PVC and do quite well. ABS, you can actually get away with quite a bit of stuff. So maybe some of that will kind of work. Obviously, it'll have to be multi-piece. A 3D print doesn't have to be because you get the posts. But any kind of negative space like this, you'll need. In fact, this whole backpack would probably be separate, and then this would be separate on that. This is super skinny on here. So a lot of skinny parts. Some cleanup I'll obviously have to do. That being said, I like, if you notice here, the skull of an enemy here. They have those like skulls. That's this guy's face. The Devourer's face. Do you see that now? So he's got like a dead one here. See, here's some of its body. That's kind of cool. Very cool with the tubes and the backpack and the face. I like that he's not facing straight, that he's kind of looking down where his gun is. He's holding his gun kind of against his leg as probably some kind of support, which is kind of nice. I like that this is not flat and smooth, but it's dipped in a little bit. That looked very nice painted. This guy's cool. I might actually paint this guy. This guy's really neat. I like him a lot. And then the base itself does have some texture. It is very, very shallow. So not a whole lot going on there. Just kind of almost a hint. I mean, it's there, right? I'm not saying it's not there, but it's mostly flat, right? Very, very cool. Everything here is so crisp, obviously. These look great. All right. And this guy, where is it? Oh, it's so hard. There's got to be a start to here somewhere. All right. Really? This is ridiculous. Okay, we'll just do this. I just don't want to break them, you know? Of all the games to lose my knife on. Okay, enemy number 1. Here's that Devourer guy. You can see his skull now. And again, what I like about these, first of all, I think they did the ribbons very good. The texture on here is awesome, by the way. So they look really cool and textured. And then you have this bone that's just gonna stand out so much. I believe these are support posts. I believe it should be open there. He's snarling. But maybe not. Let's see. No, maybe that is supposed to be there. Anyway, in fact, here you can kind of see the bones and then kind of the black evilness. In fact, maybe even give a red hue to them. That'd be kind of cool. There's a post in here and in here. A whole bunch of posts underneath him still. But you get the general idea. He's like coming out of the ground. There's not really a point where he stops and the ground tendrils start. And I don't know, just a very cool design. And again, the whole scale is a little small, and I think that's because they get really big. Like I showed that one big one, I forget its name. It was like some named boss or whatever that had like the city on its base and on top of it. So it's getting like this huge stuff, right? And it's trying to convey that bigness. Okay, let's see if I can't. There we go. Lots of tape. You guys know I struggle with tape so much. Always a difficulty for me. All right. Here's another hero here. And so he should have had a little tube here. I think my other version of him does. Exact same base almost. I even see a little dip here. So I think they're just using kind of a single base. Very cool detail. I love the helmet here. The cape's cool. I like the patch. It looks both futuristic and like they're reusing a lot of stuff, which is cool. Very tiny tubes here. Gun looks kind of neat. I dig the gun. And there might actually be the tube somewhere. I'm not sure. Again, these are just such little guys anyway. All right. Let's do this one. Because this seems really small. I want to get rid of the small stuff so we get to the big stuff, right? Nothing too big or fancy here. But again, they've already sent at least one that was actually quite big. All right. There we are. There we are. All right. Progress. And here we have another enemy. And again, like the enemies are unique and they're cool. And like I love the thick tendrils here combined with the little tendrils. I think that's really cool. I love how they almost turn into antenna. This is a post that needs to be removed. Again, the skulls are always really cool. I like how it gives a sense of mouths and eyes and stuff like that. Just such a cool... Here's kind of the base here. Looks cool. Such a cool and interesting and unique design. I don't have any other minis anywhere close to this. Anywhere close. And I think they'd be really easy to paint, right? Because at least the bad guys are pretty much all just a couple colors, depending on how fancy you want to get with a red glow. But either way, I mean, I think they'd look really cool. They'd look stark and contrasty and kind of, I don't know, scary, I guess is actually a pretty good word for it. Okay, here's your moth, your flyer. Again, all of these are supports. All of these right here, this is not a support, but all these thick angled ones are. So this wouldn't be here, just be a kind of a, actually it'd be held up right here by this tendril here. And I want to say that's it. And if that's the case, I think this will need to be thickened. Or ABS, this is no different than when you have a person with like the tip of their foot on there. Monolith did a lot of that with Batman. However, typically it's not leaning forward again. And what you worry about is if you push down here, right? Ideally, you're just picking them up. But either way, it forming the abdomen and the wings and them kind of turning a little animal-like is very interesting to me. So you can see some of the extra stuff here. Just posts and extra stuff's not needed. Get out of here. We don't need you. Very cool design. Very interesting. And this is probably the last hero. Because we're missing our fourth hero. Maybe. There we are. There we be. And finally, yep, our last hero. Here she is. Okay, so again, quite interesting. This is all post here, so it would only be attached here, which again, with some good use of ABS, you can totally do. And again, you just worry about pinching right here, but should be okay. This is a different base, obviously. There's a little tube here and whatever the heck is growing over this. Love the skull face. That's super unique. The short cape. I love short capes. You do not see this enough, where the cape just kind of goes like right to the kind of the lower back area. Love it. I really love that. Right here, this is bent. I'm assuming it's probably supposed to be straight. I don't know if I can do a hot water treatment on a 3D thing, but a prototype doesn't matter. This is not final quality, of course. You can see kind of where this was glued or something like that. But either way, I love her feet in these things. Is really, really interesting. She's just a unique person with the face and these feet and stuff. And then like a arm-mounted gun by the looks of it, or flashlight thing, and then some kind of staff. Very, very, again, the designs of these minis are so stinking cool. I really, really like it. They're freaking awesome. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put these guys on a round table just to show you, and I'll probably go ahead and put that big guy on here as well that I had from before. Linked below to the unboxing of the other miniatures I have. I do have at least that big guy to show off to you guys.
As promised, here are the miniatures on that round table with some good lighting and hopefully some good video for you guys. So you can see them a little more, just in better detail, as if you were kind of seeing them in person, ideally, right? You can kind of see the intricacy and the detail, even at this a little bit smaller scale on these miniatures. Now, obviously, this is a 3D print out of just a regular plastic, not what you would get like a PVC miniature or anything like that, or even ABS. So it's hit or miss. Some things might be a little bit better, some things might be a little worse. Obviously, there's no assembly involved in this one. It's all kind of one piece. And you can see those support structures there in either way. But the overall design, the sculpt design, the intention, the theme and IP and all of that is still, I think, really, really here. So these guys remind me of kind of a mix between BioShock and Dead Space. Which I really dig. I think that's a match made in heaven. That's awesome. I love it. So I like kind of the Scooby Gear kind of look to all of it. I like how the enemies are kind of barely have a form, but they kind of mimic enemy, like insects and monsters and that kind of stuff. I really like some of the design decisions in particular. Like I said, like that short cape there, I think it's just great. Her skull mask is super cool too. The detail what I'm seeing here, it's generally pretty good. They're gonna have to be pretty smart about what they use for ABS and what they use for PVC, or just a really good mix. But overall, again, I'm actually really excited, and I think these bad guys particularly will come out great and really quick and nice. And I think you can get some amazing OSL on these Tron-like lighting schemes that they have for a lot of the heroes. That hexagon cape is so cool. I mean, just a lot of this is super unique and awesome, and I appreciate the uniqueness. I appreciate the fact that I don't have a miniature that looks like any of these in any other game, and I have a lot of games. It's not a generic fantasy. It's not a generic sci-fi. It's its own thing. I mean, this is a world where the moon bleeds or bled, or I don't know, something weird happened. That's all I know. So it's a crazy world with some crazy unique designs that I really, really appreciate, if nothing else, because I have nothing else like them at all, and that alone excites me. And as I said, I'd show this guy again. I have a whole unboxing of him where I talk about him in more detail. This is, by the way, broken and partially re-glued, and it came in some pieces. Some of the claws aren't fully there. You can see where I glued some other pieces on there. Essentially, it's this gigantic guy coming out of the ground. So you can see the city on the front of his base, and then on top of him are actually some more buildings and constructions. So he's like come out of the earth, out of the ground, to reign terror. You can see those skyscrapers there so you can kind of tell the scale of it all. Obviously, he's not to scale to the heroes, or they'd just be itty bitty little like 1 millimeter people kind of thing, and that'd be ridiculous. But more like Aeon Trespass Odyssey, where they have the smaller features on the bottom to give a sense of scale. And I did find that once painted, that really actually sells it a lot. Once painted, those will definitely be buildings. You'll tell they're buildings. You can tell that he's towering over a city. He has that kind of earth crust layer above him, still on his back. It's just cool. Again, a great overall idea and concept and design. It seems to be well sculpted and thought out as well. They're gonna have to, you know, figure out how many parts this will be, not 3D printed. You can see some of the support posts on top of him underneath the ground layer that's above him, and kind of how that looks like and how that all fits in when it comes to the final miniature. But again, I got nothing like this. This is super unique. So I hope you're excited about the game. The gameplay hints and details we saw here excite me. I will let you know in a review, so stay tuned for that. And as always, a huge thank you just for being here to all of my patrons for supporting. And as always, I will catch you again very, very soon.